Hi, and welcome to another episode of Tool Talk. I'm your host, Mark the Window Cleaner. This show is brought to you by WindowCleaningResource.com. Today I want to talk to you about the Liquidator Squeegee channel. I'm sure by now you've all heard a little bit about the Liquidator, heard the buzz on the many internet forums, and some of you may already have been playing around with it this spring. It's just been released. First of all, for those of you who are unfamiliar, the Liquidator is actually just the channel. You see I'm holding a complete squeegee here. Let's just forget about the handle for a minute, because the Liquidator is actually just the channel that you see here. Channel's made by Moerman. Like I said, it was just released this spring, and it's based on the design, the DIY design of a gentleman who goes by the interesting YouTube handle of Poles and Blades, a very skilled window cleaner in the UK, who's taken his squeegee channels, he's dog-eared them, which is of course nothing new in the industry, but he's also put like this angle, an angle cut on his channels, and between the way he prepared his squeegees and the way he described the benefits of them, pretty much turning your squeegee into a no detailing or a very minimal detailing squeegee, he was able to get the attention of Moerman, who decided to work with him and help develop what is now the Liquidator Squeegee channel. Now, as you can see, it's a standard black, I think it's just painted aluminum squeegee channel with these blue plastic clips. The blue plastic clips do a couple things, of course. They push forward on the very ends, giving you that dog earring effect. The fact that it's angled like this as opposed to just a straight cut, which are, is pretty standard on squeegees, allows you to get up into corners a little bit better. So you can really get in deep into corners, and of course pay more attention to the sides, especially around very thin seals around the window, so that after squeegeeing a window, hopefully there'll be very little detailing, if any, to do. And as far as the what handles it works with, of course, at the beginning of the video I had it inside this. This is a handle by Moerman. I'm going to talk about this more in another video, but as far as how it goes in, it's basically just, you got this lock here, basically slips in there and then you snap it closed. The handle in this particular case holds not only the channel and the rubber. So knowing that, we could just take this back off. You can actually probably grab one of your other squeegee handles, take this particular case, the Unger Ergotech. There's lots of other different designs there, and you can actually just pull it back here, spring-loaded handle of the Ergotech, and hold that in place. Now, one thing you will notice is that that handle that I was showing you originally has a much more pronounced angle than the Ergotech. The Ergotech has hardly any angle in comparison. So whether you use the Liquidator channel with the Unger handle or with the Moerman handle, you're definitely going to have to get a little bit used to dealing with an angle difference. Now, as far as how this performs, first of all, the very first time I tried it, the first thing I noticed was that during my swirls, the rubber was jumping, and that was discussed in the very early stages of its release. A couple things going on here. One is definitely a technique issue. Having not cleaned windows regularly in quite some time since I opened up my shop here in Canada, I was a little out of practice. So yeah, I was trying to do very deep swirls, and of course I was getting a lot of jumping in the rubber. The other thing is that during the initial release, apparently the clips weren't as tight fitting around the bottom as they could have been, which would have helped in keeping the rubber sitting down in place when you're doing your swirling. And I mean, other than that, getting used to that, just changing up, more or less just giving it time for me to adapt to the tool, is actually ending up to be kind of worth it. The more I play around with it, the more I am getting better results with it. And it really comes down to, yeah, it's a little different than the way you're doing things. If you're willing to adapt, you probably will grasp the concept and get some pretty good results. I kind of relate it to the way some people approach the wagtail squeegee. I know I love the wagtail squeegee, and I have talked to some people, fresh into window cleaning, they love it. I've talked to people who've been in window cleaning for 20 years, and they can't figure out the wagtail. they just don't get it. So it just depends on your attitude towards a new tool. Anyway, we're going to just take this outside and we're going to practice on one of my store windows. And it's a pretty big window, but let's go check it out. Okay, so in this particular demonstration, I'm only using a 14-inch sample liquidated squeegee, but this is a very large window. Normally you'd want to use like an 18-inch on here. What I find is that as long as you don't do majorly sharp swirls, you can pretty much go along quite well without any kind of skipping or jumping. You know, just take your time, you know, the first few passes until you get used to the angle of the squeegee and whatnot and how it performs on the glass. So there I do a side closeout, which is pretty much the optimum way to do it with this particular squeegee. Looking up the sides here, I'm not seeing any detailing required at all. It's very, very clean. If anything, you know, it might see a couple of soap bubbles on the brown mullion, which of course is not a big deal. But on the glass itself, you know, there's no detailing. The only thing really that would be very necessary to wipe up, of course, is the soap down at the bottom here. But other than that, quite happy. Okay, so there you have it, the Liquidator squeegee channel. As far as I know, still at this point, we were only dealing with 10-inch, 14-inch, and 18-inch channels as far as what sizes they've been released in. From what I understand, they're going to be coming up with some smaller sizes, maybe as small as 6 or 8 inch, all the way up to possibly 22-inch. So this is something that obviously, you know, it's in the beginning stages, was just released a couple months ago. It'd be interesting to see where the industry goes with this product. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye for now.